Hey guys, how's it going? I sound like crap, so don't. It's not your computer or your phone or your TV. I just sound like shit. So, oh switch. Okay, so mm, I found a video.
You are the human.
Okay, I really want to start off with this one just because I feel like everybody's been having it lately. At least like one person. Okay, so like let's get into it. I found this. She is an amazing creator. She cracks my shit up all the time. Um, her name, if I can see it, is Lauren Bradshaw. You should really follow her. She cracks my shit up. But I feel like we have all found people like this.
Version of a camel toe. Why is it that there are certain people that seemingly come into your life and test your ability to not commit felonies? I am a fucking kind and caring person until I'm not.
Yep.
And then I won't even piss on you if you were on fire. Okay, I would actively fucking step over your body. I don't give a
This woman at this point is my spirit animal. I'm just throwing that out there.
shit. But there are some people that I have to deal with day in and day out that literally remind me of a camel toe. They're uncomfortable. Yes. They're too fucking close to my business. They're
Yes.
almost always awkwardly moist. Why are you so moist?
And they have a smell. I don't know how to say it nicer. These people have a smell.
Moist. And the most annoying thing is that we just pretend. We just pretend that these camel toe like people don't bother us. We just smile and nod and pretend that their inability to be a fucking decent human being is normal. Like, don't get your flaps in a knot, sweetheart. I didn't do that because I didn't have the fucking capacity to split myself in twain to be able to complete the task.
Hey,
I did
chaotic.
everything I could. So when you huff and puff and queef the house down, I can't help but think, you're a cunt. These people literally ruin your fucking day.
Oh,
Look,
it's
you
you're not
can
that late,
fucking
honey.
tell how bad my day was. Look at this. Look at this shit. Hi. No, I'm good. Everything's fine. My hair's meant to be like this. This is
So before I got around to stream, that is exactly what I looked like. Just throwing that out there.
the style in Paris. I'm one small inconvenience away from potentially having to be medicated.
I am
You are the
medicated.
human.
Yeah. So if you missed the beginning of that, I will send you that video because I don't know, it just brightened my day after yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? This fits. This just fits. Human version of a camel toe. They're moist, they smell, and uncomfortable. So that's what we're starting with. But we're deep diving Belle Gibson. I have, I have where, um, like the older things that a lot of people have known about, including a couple YouTube videos, and kind of where she's been the last couple years. So there's that. Um, so, but this is Belle Gibson. It wasn't just one thing that she faked. Oh yeah, you need to follow her. Her name is I will send it to you. Give me a minute. But yeah, this is Belle Gibson. She claimed to have terminal brain cancer. And she claimed that holistic foods um, and clean eating cured her cancer. And she got endorsed, all the things, had everybody convinced. And she's just a habitual liar, pretty much.
Bull has a big problem. She's dead. She's in the middle of getting heart surgery and she dies right there on the operating table. So she's lying there, dead, for about 3 minutes. And the doctors, they know what to do, so they electrocute her back to consciousness. And she's alive again. But she's not better, because later doctors diagnose her with a brain tumor, a really bad one. And they only give her 4 months to live. So Bull does chemotherapy, she does radiation, but unfortunately nothing beats this cancer. So she starts to take a different route. Alternative medicines. And she starts getting better and her cancer starts to stabilize. And she ends up living way past the 4-month mark. Until Bull decides to share her story on Instagram, and she starts pushing the alternative cures that helped her, and things really take off for her. I mean, people love her. I mean, her Instagram blows up, she gets lots of fans, tons of support, she creates a wellness app, and the app is so popular, Apple wants to partner with her and make it available on the Apple Watch. She creates a cookbook, she raises a bunch of money and donates it to charity. Things are going really well for her. Until Bull gets more cancer. Not only does she have it in her brain, she has it in her blood, her spleen, her liver, all kinds of places. Oh, but it's not over for Bull. During her rise to fame, she's posting more, she's giving more interviews, and she starts to claim that all of her cancer and health issues started back when she got the HPV vaccine. Basically saying a cancer vaccine ended up giving her cancer. Huh? And this immediately makes a lot of people skeptical. And that skepticism grew, and it grew, and it grew, and then journalists started to investigate her. Then, all of a sudden, boom, Bull makes front page news. 5 charities she claimed she had donated to never got the money. 4 of those charities didn't even know she was supposed to be raising money for them. So then where did all that money go? So that news about the charities just opens the floodgates. And suddenly every journalist in Australia is digging into her past, trying to see if she lied about anything else. Like, did she really die for 3 minutes during heart surgery? Did she really have all kinds of cancer in a bunch of places? And did her alternative treatments really help that cancer? And then all of a sudden her social media,
no.
where she was once
No,
loved,
they did not.
is now filled with nothing but hate. And poor Bull, she doesn't know what to do. She's removing comments, she's deleting her own posts that reference the cancer. Then it comes out that she spent that missing charity money on herself. Leasing a luxury car, vacations, clothes, new veneers, and people are pissed because they were lied to. Then Apple removes her app from the App Store and the book publisher withdraws her book from sale. And during all this chaos, Bull is like, okay, I can fix this, I just have to do an interview. So she sits down to do an interview with the Australian Women's Weekly. And it goes about as well as you would expect. I mean, pretty quickly the interviewer asks her if she has or has ever had cancer. And to everyone's surprise, Bull doesn't lie. She actually says, quote, "No, none of it is true." So why did she say she had cancer when she clearly didn't? Well, in a later interview, Bull actually claims that her doctor had tricked her into believing she had cancer. And of course, journalists look into this, and it turns out that doctor doesn't exist. So that was also a lie. Now, eventually, the Australian government, they investigate all this, and they end up fining Bull like $410,000 for making false claims about donations to charity. Then she doesn't show up to any of her court dates, she doesn't pay any of her fines, and eventually police have to come raid her house and seize items to recoup the unpaid fines. A year later, the fines still weren't paid off and they raided her house again. And all this happened in Melbourne, Australia, so shout out to Australia. So this woman, let's call her Bull. And
so that's a generalization. Yeah, she faked a whole bunch of stuff. I am actually sick. So your headphone, whatever you're listening on, it is not that sounds like crap. It's actually just me. So.
Belle Gibson is part of a new breed of entrepreneur. She is an ecopreneur.
You taste like mango.
And she does have a kid.
Last year.
It's essentially a recipe collection full of whole foods and vegetarian recipes, which is the way that we encourage people to get back to the fundamentals of eating more fruits and vegetables.
The whole pantry was born through Belle's own battle with brain cancer. She was diagnosed with terminal cancer a few years ago. After trying the traditional treatment methods, she turned to whole foods to heal herself instead, and she soon began to develop an app. Belle Gibson is part of a new...
Now, don't get me wrong. Oh, thanks, Ash. You're sweet. Um, Part of it's because I have a crappy camera, so you can't see like where I've broken out at. But so, don't get me wrong. A lot of vegetarian meals. Hey, settle. A lot of vegetarian meals and eating like holistic foods, things like that, is really good to do. It really is. I'm trying to get into that so I can lose some weight. But lying about cancer obviously is not the way to do it. Like, can you imagine like having to admit that that's your mom? Like, she is world known for this. The harm that it caused was a lot of cancer patients quit their treatment listening to this woman because she had an app on her Apple Watch made for it, whole cookbook, everything. And I think in a couple of the YouTube ones it shows a couple of people that were affected by it because they followed her so close. And then there is, I do believe, a documentary on Netflix, and you can find the 60-minute interview on, I think it's on Hulu. But yeah. Ash, I'm jealous. Can you make me dinner? I want dinner. And it says that they just fined her. Like, she didn't get arrested. They raided her house. She got, what did they say, $410,000. So, I mean...
Thank you to my patrons for making this video possible.
A young, beautiful woman gets given the terrible news she has inoperable brain cancer and only 4 months to live.
hang on a second.
Of sympathetic followers and
I'll fix it.
live every step of her journey and celebrate her success as she becomes the poster girl for the alternative wellness industry. Except it's all a lie. A great big
There we go.
lie. She doesn't have cancer, never did.
We love a female fraudster. Well, we love to hate them. And the latest scammer to take center stage, or center screen, is Belle Gibson, the subject of Netflix's TV show Apple Cider Vinegar. If you've dipped your toe into wellness culture at all, you'll know that the show takes its name from the holy grail of wellness products. The golden liquid that can help your hair, your skin, your gut, maybe even your
At least you get some family time.
like actually have it. Because what is it that Belle Gibson is famous for again?
She doesn't have cancer.
Yeah, you can send me dinner anytime. I'm just saying.
About having brain cancer, claiming she cured it with clean eating, and building a wellness empire off the back of that lie. While not all wellness influencers are lying about having brain cancer, there's a lot of them that are making money peddling anything from supplements to straight up scabs. And
So glad that...
these wellness or
Oh, that you caught me still on. Actually, I just got on. I never am on time. Ever. In my life.
Vaccines, essential oils, castor oil, you name it. And the talking points of these crunchy granola moms sound suspiciously like those of alt-right conspiracy theorists. And they're part of the culture that has propelled people like RFK Jr., anti-vaxxer, and conspiracist,
Do you believe that autism does come from vaccines?
to a seat at the White House. Apple
I
Cider
had,
may tell a story from 10 years ago,
like,
but
pizza in the oven. And then I have my favorite chips. Well, one of my favorites. But yeah, I haven't been very hungry today with getting sick, if I'm honest.
Influencers like Belle Gibson even fall down that rabbit hole in the first place? And what are the real world impacts of online wellness culture? I know Belle Gibson is Australian, but the last two sections are going to have kind of a US focus because I think with the rise of RFK Jr., Trump, and QAnon, it really exemplifies the danger of the wellness to alt-right pipeline. And I'm from Ireland, but a lot of the anti-vax / conspiracy stuff that I see is very US focused as well. So I think it really serves as a good cautionary tale. Hi, I'm Ellen, and you're watching Illiteracy. I hope everyone is also picking up on my
You'll have to let me know if something glitches out,
roasting.
because I don't know if certain things will get it down or not.
Instagram fame in 2013, posting pictures of smoothie bowls and salads under the username Healing Belle. But her food wasn't just for the aesthetics or the health benefits. Belle Gibson's healthy lifestyle was curing her cancer. Well, that's what she told her 200,000 followers anyway. And remember, this was back in the early
It
days
comes to
of
chips, I am
Instagram
too.
in 2013. So 200,000 followers was a big deal back then. Like, I mean, nowadays anyone can get that. Gibson wrote that in 2009, I was diagnosed with a severe and malignant brain cancer. Now I was given 6 weeks, 4 months tops to live. How were you feeling about the Australian accent? Good?
She did pretty good on
To
that.
this day. Anyways, after getting her diagnosis, or her
Better than I can do.
diagnosis, Belle said that she chose not to listen to the advice of doctors and pulled herself out of chemotherapy. I mean, honestly, like, what do those doctors know anyway? How long could it take to become a doctor? 2 months? 3? Belle said that she was empowering myself to save my own life, on a quest to heal myself naturally, through nutrition, patience, determination, and love. And with a plan of clean eating and holistic medicine, Belle was able to turn the weeks that the doctors gave her into years. Years in which she was always the picture of perfect health, glowing from within, even while fighting the notoriously difficult grade 4 glioblastoma. Belle encouraged her followers, who were mainly other women, to follow her lead. Ditch processed foods, eat clean, lead a natural, healthy lifestyle. She gave out unlicensed,
I am going to speed her up. Let me know
just so happened to be selling an app and a cookbook that
if
perfect natural healthy lifestyle. In 2013, she launched a recipe
it
pantry that earned the top ranking
isn't coming
for
through.
top sellers
Okay.
its first month. She published a cookbook in 2014, and Gibson supposedly earned $500,000 in less than 2 years from the whole pantry brand. Everything was going well until the cancer spread to her blood, spleen, uterus, and liver.
Why can I not?
It would take nothing short
Hang on a
of
second.
a miracle for Gibson to keep going. A miracle or a lie. And she kept on lying, not only about her cancer,
There it is.
but about the money that she was supposed to be donating to charity, which she just was pocketing herself the whole time. But
There
how
we
was
go.
Gibson able to reach so many people, make so much
Lay
money,
down.
and keep up the ruse for so long? Wellness grifters of the past didn't have direct access to consumers. They had to go through the barriers of mainstream media or publishing houses in order to spread their knowledge and sell their scams. But not anymore. Gibson shows how influencers can slip through the cracks to take advantage of mass media, and she was also bolstered by huge international companies. Cosmopolitan gave Gibson
There's a lot of them that slip through the cracks. I'm just saying.
its Fun Fearless Female Award
I
in
don't
2014. Her whole
understand
hugely successful and was selected by Apple to be one of the app's
lying like that.
on their new launch.
I don't lie anyway,
Penguin Books, one of the biggest publishers
but
in the world, published the cookbook, which came complete with a personal
I
essay
don't
detailing
understand it.
Gibson's fictional fight with cancer. They admitted after Gibson was exposed in 2015 that they never fact-checked the book, claiming, "We did not feel this was necessary as the Cook Pantry is a collection of food recipes, which Penguin has published in good faith." But all of this publicity and endorsement from big brands made Belle's story seem more credible. It gave her more access to people, and it made her a lot more money. Obviously, like, Belle should not have been lying about having cancer and stealing people's money, but these big companies should also have been doing their due diligence. In 2017, Gibson was convicted of misleading and deceptive conduct, and the federal court of Australia ordered her to pay a fine of 400,000 Australian dollars. Her cookbook, The Whole Pantry, was pulled from circulation, but she allegedly has not paid that.
Oh, it is.
10% of the fine to this day. There's a rough number put on her financial damage, but there's no way to quantify the emotional and health damage that Gibson has caused because of her misinformation. How many of the followers opted out of conventional treatment because they saw this glowing, thin, white woman smiling all over their feed despite battling cancer? And how many faced disastrous or deadly results because of it? Apple cider vinegar explores this side of the story, and they also tell the story of Mila, who's a similar wellness influencer to Belle.
She was diagnosed with cancer.
She's consistently maintained. I have no reason to doubt her.
Because in her case, it's true.
Mila is said to be a mixture of opposite of her story will be very familiar to you. Ainscow was also an Australian wellness influencer who went viral for documenting her remission of cancer through alternative health practices. I didn't accept my doctor's solution was the only course of action. Ainscow wrote in the blog, I systematically detoxified my body and mind. Gibson and Ainscow both promoted Gerson therapy, which was invented by the German doctor Max Gerson in...
Yeah, there is more than one person that was in this. Okay. There's another one. I'm not... For some reason, her name isn't quite as big, so I'm wondering if she didn't go as far with it. If that makes sense.
In the 1920s. It consists of multiple coffee or castor oil enemas throughout the day, as well as drinking a fruit and veg juice every hour.
I'm sorry, enemas? Okay, I am fine with drinking my coffee like a normal person. Just throwing that out there. Like, I am a massive coffee person, but I do not think that you could pay me enough to flush it up my booty hole. Who does that? Like, why does that thought even... Where does the thought come from? Like, I know it'll kickstart my day. I'm not going to drink my coffee. Let's try putting it the other end. What the fuck?
Every day, Cancer Research UK states there's no evidence to prove that Gerson therapy works as a cure for cancer, but Ainscow followed it and promoted it nonetheless. When Ainskow's mother was diagnosed with cancer, she followed the same treatment, and she sadly died in 2015.
Right.
Ainskow's cancer came back, and she died in 2015 at age 29. Like Gibson, we don't know how many people were influenced by Ainscow besides...
Okay, this is horrible, but at least you wouldn't have to worry about sugar and cream at that point. Just throwing that out there. But you still couldn't pay me enough. No.
Even in Gibson and Ainskow's absence, there are new wellness gurus popping up every day. Influencers claim that they found the cure to acne, fatigue, chronic pain, bloating, insomnia, cancer, and so much more. And with social media, we've also seen the mainstreaming of the wellness industry. Everyone from the beauty YouTuber Tati to Kourtney Kardashian has supplement lines, despite having exactly zero health qualifications. Publications like the New York Times have dedicated wellness sections offering information on everything from lemon water to fentanyl. The sheer amount of this information, there's all...
Now hang on a second, because info dump. I do know, little factoid that I know. Thank you, jackass. If you do any alcohol or like a beer enema, okay, stay with me. You have to be careful because you can get a lethal dose of the alcohol with a lot less because it enters your bloodstream instantly. So, would coffee do the same? Do you think? Like, now I have questions, man. And it doesn't even like fully pertain to the story. It's caffeine enema questions. Like, now I need to ask Google, who's clearing my history if I die from this?
We hope that the fun the families have had together in our 3-day-a-week program at these centers.
Somebody needs to be in charge of clearing my history. Right, now I need to ask Google questions. That's drastic.
The Venn diagram between crunchy granola moms and alt-right conspiracy theories. In the U.S., anti-establishment sentiments have made people turn from established medical and scientific institutions. It doesn't help that those institutions are also being purged and defunded by the current administration. There are a lot of different reasons for people losing trust in the medical system: the mistreatment of women and people of color, the outrageous costs of healthcare, the manipulation from insurance companies. We saw those tensions come to a head a few months ago with the assassination of the United Healthcare CEO, and even the way the alleged perpetrator, who Japan is being celebrated, shows
So on the Luigi part, I did not know. People thought that he was enough of a hero after he gunned the CEO down. Okay. People in that city started hiding him. I did not know that. Um, but he, like, I don't, I get it, but I don't get it. If you want, I can put that on a list for us to look into also. Because that one is it's a rabbit hole too.
Falling down rabbit holes of conspiracy theories and dodgy health advice. The COVID pandemic played a huge role in radicalizing.
And we can do that one next Sunday.
The political spectrum against the government to oppose vaccines and to call for the downfall of big pharma and big food. Even our OG star influencer, Belle Gibson, was anti-vax. According to a former friend of Belle Gibson, she was really into everything anti-medicine, including the anti-vaccination movement. In her book, Doppelganger, Naomi Klein describes this kind of group of people as going from far out to far right. Because what's interesting about this group of people is how it spans from crunchy granola moms who think are quite liberal to the kind of alt-right QAnons, but they're all buying into the belief that vaccines cause autism. They don't. Big Pharma
No.
is hiding the fact that enemas juices can cure cancer. They can.
They don't.
The government is putting fluoride in the water to mine the PFAS. I mean, do I need to say? No. It's easy to roll our eyes at people who believe that essential oils can cure COVID or that vitamin C can cure cancer, but this crunchy to far right pipeline is a slippery slope that is primed for vulnerable people. While the beliefs are illogical, a lot of this radicalization starts from a logical place and emotional experiences. I think that's important to keep in mind because if we just leave our empathy at the door, we risk alienating these people even more. Bars. Wellness grifters, from influencers to the U.S. Health Secretary, take advantage of vulnerable people. They leverage real frustrations and distrust in institutions. I think for women like Belle Gibson or the wellness influencers like her, there's a lot of...
I will message you here after a bit. I'm fine with you knowing about it.
Very real medical bias against women. Women are often underrepresented or absent altogether from medical trials. A lot of studies, like drug studies, for example, may fail to take the fluctuation of
Oh, you're fine, Ash.
into account. You can undergo minor surgery.
100%.
No anesthetic or pain relief. A lot of women have also been with face-to-face interactions with doctors, maybe gaslit or belittled when it comes to their health concerns. They may have had traumatic experiences with gynecology or childbirth, and I really empathize with people who are disillusioned with the medical system because I've had really shitty experiences around my own reproductive health. I think for a lot of female reproductive issues, you're kind of encouraged to be your own guinea pig. Like you can go to the...
So when it comes down to, like, we're going to talk about this for a minute because I know I'm glad that I got fixed, but it has nothing to do with my kids. Okay? It all has to do with the way that you get treated. My nightmare was probably my oldest. That's earlier. Yeah, no, you're good. Oh, you're fine, Ash. Babies come first. But, so, with that one, with my oldest, I was 19. And sadly, my niece had to go through it too. Where just because you are a very fresh adult, they don't think that you know your body. They don't think that you know your kid. Any of it. I was in labor with my water broken for 36 hours. And then just for afterwards, I had to have an emergency C-section. And obviously did not sleep. Had surgery. Came out. And I was trying my best to listen to the doctor. Okay. And I got accused of not caring about my own baby and what was going on because he had fluid in his lungs. And I was passing out. Well, of course I was passing out. I just went under the knife. I was up for 36 hours and in horrible pain. But I had a male doctor. And apparently fluid on his lungs was my fault, not his, for having my water broken that long. Stuff like that. So, and I mean, I have heard so many different people tell me from having kids that it's a horror show. Why are we not in there taking care of the mom and the baby, not just the baby? Like, I hate the way that women are treated, especially with having children, or when it comes down to periods are horrible, or things like that. If you can get a female doctor when you're talking about like reproductive things, a lot of the time it is a lot better. Some of the times you'll still get a Karen, but not as often as you will with a male doctor. My doctor now, I went to high school with her. She is the first doctor to ever look at me and tell me that no, I believe you that you're in pain or that you can't handle this. We need to get you on medication so that you're not always in pain and so that it's more manageable. It took me 33 years to not be called crazy. Women in the medical system it is not okay. Yeah, and my niece, when she had her son, they were in there and they could feed him without him gagging on his bottle. She decided to bottle feed. But whenever the nurse did it, she kept pushing the bottle too far in his mouth. And so he would gag and spit up. And when she brought up, I don't want you feeding him, she flat out looked at my niece and said, well, you're just a kid, like I'm going to listen to you. I went in there that afternoon and we'll just say that she definitely knew who I was by the end of the day. And she was not allowed around my niece. Yeah, women, when it comes to medical stuff, it's stupid. That's part of the reason why people that lie about this stuff, it's so detrimental, is because women look at women to figure out what works, right? Like, my doctor's not helping me, I feel worse, but I know this woman has the same thing as I do, so maybe if I try what she's trying. And it makes it very dangerous because they don't know who all was affected. Does that make sense? Like, they don't know who all followed her, who all did what she was doing. And there's people that could have lost their lives because of this.
And a lot of people who have reproductive issues like endometriosis or PCOS go years without being diagnosed. And these issues are even worse for women of color and people of color in general often have their pain completely dismissed or belittled. And also on this note as well, a lot of black people and indigenous people have been subject to human experimentation, completely unethical and inhumane medical practices and experimentation done either in individuals or by entire states. So obviously that kind of generational trauma is going to funnel down to distrust in medical institutions. On top of all of those systemic issues, if you add something like a cancer diagnosis, I completely see why people would go online looking for a sense of community and comfort and a space where they feel heard. And the alternative health space will welcome in these people with open arms, and they will say, you trust yourself.
I think she needed charges too.
You can take power into your own hands to cure yourself. And with wellness influencers, the lack of accreditation can actually be viewed as a good thing because it shows that they don't have any ties to institutions. They might not have a hidden agenda, even though there are some.
It takes a lot of us like years to find a decent one.
Celebrity culture and power social relationships into the mix. All of this fosters trust for these unlicensed, uncredited influencers.
First thing I do when I wake up is oil pulling with coconut oil. It's an Ayurvedic way to remove bacteria from the mouth.
Because the relationship feels intimate, it feels comforting, you feel connected.
I can't do oil in the mouth. I'm sorry.
Relationship that can arise between a patient and a doctor because of overworked medical
Like, if it works for her, it's great. It's fantastic. Like,
it also means turning away from Western culture in general because from the 60s to today, a lot of wellness trends are just elements of Eastern medicine or practices that are plucked out of and divorced from it's resulted in this kind of like exoticism and Orientalism where people will blindly promote the healing powers of Chinese herbs or the aesthetic benefits of gua sha without any of the knowledge
down.
You see like a lot of white people just selling elements of traditional Eastern medicine repackaged in millennial aesthetics, and this exoticism also deflects any criticism or interrogation because it can just be shut down as like, oh,
Leave her alone.
it's Ayurvedic medicine, and wellness grocers rely on
No.
knowledge in these areas to buy what they're selling. And in the West, wellness has been warped from something that is community-focused practice to something that's hyper-individualistic. We see this around issues like vaccination, where people say like, oh, I'm fine with vaccination, but I think everyone should have the right to choose. That
Nope.
individualistic mindset means that unvaccinated people
Nope.
have an effect on the most vulnerable parts of our populations, like disabled people, frail people, elderly people. These people are disproportionately affected because of this like exercise.
No, I can't either.
People's refusal to look at things on like a community level. It's important to acknowledge
Are you gonna
that
say hi?
some of the cornerstones of wellness culture are valid and important. Many of us do live very sedentary lifestyles. We should probably be moving more, eating more fresh food, less processed food. Pharmaceutical and healthcare industries shouldn't be for profit. Pharmaceutical and
No.
food companies have some bad track records.
I said no.
Consumer interests like Nestle promoting
Gotta get down.
Ebola in Africa. Instead of championing to increase accessibility to healthy food across all income levels or increasing funding to healthcare, the wellness/alt-right circles just spin conspiracies about microchips in vaccines and deadly seed oils. And that's the problem with twisting what should be a community effort into us versus them issue. And now it's everyone for themselves out there. And it's looking pretty grim.
We begin with the breaking news happening in West Texas. A child has died from measles, and this is the first death linked to the outbreak that started last month.
You might be like me, where most of my exposure to this wellness culture is online, but it's important to acknowledge the far-reaching impacts that they have on the real world.
She's very cute, but she's a big pain in my butt.
Yeah. Misinformation is the AIDS epidemic. The amount of people
Bunny.
who die because of lack of access to treatment, because of the stigma around the disease, and the amount of social ostracization that people with HIV and AIDS and the queer community in general suffered because of the misinformation around it, because of the idea that you get AIDS from shaking someone's hand or like sitting beside a gay person. And I think that showcases not just the harm from the like, health and medical side, but the social, societal harm that this kind of information can do. The alternative health industry is only gaining more power and legitimacy. RFK Jr., a vocal anti-vaxxer who believes that women can cure cancer, was appointed as health secretary of the U.S. So these alt-health groups like anti-vaxxers have gone from fringe voices to legitimate government officials that push real health policies. And as soon as Trump got into office, there was like news article after news article.
I'm sorry, Ash.
Libraries being defunded. Trump purged public health data. He withdrew U.S. from the World Health Organization. And with already underfunded education.
Yeah, always advocate for yourself because there are so many medical aspects that they don't advocate for patients, especially women or people of different ethnicity.
It doesn't have the same flashy conspiratorial edge.
Hang on.
The fear that arises from someone saying Bill Gates is using vaccines to turn us all into zombies or whatever is a lot stronger than like a health official sitting down citing studies for why this is not true. Anti-vax sentiment has triggered the return of measles, and a child died of measles in Texas, which was the first measles death in the US in a decade. That same anti-vax movement and the anti-COVID regulations meant that thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people contracted COVID and may have died from something that was entirely preventable. And let's not forget that the current president of the US told people to inject bleach into their veins to fight COVID, and the current health secretary refuses to admit that vaccines do not cause autism.
Vaccines do not cause autism. Do you agree with that?
As I said, I'm not going to go into HHS with any preordained.
I ask you a simple question, Bobby. The studies all over the world say it does not. What do you think?
Senator, if you're shown those, I will absolutely...
Oh, I gotta fix that. Hang on.
That is a very troubling response.
RFK Jr. responded to the measles outbreak, and he said that vaccines were effective against measles, but that ultimately vaccination is a personal choice.
There we go.
And he goes on to spout anti-vax lies.
I'm gonna stay off camera just for a minute in case I have to get up and go after him again. Stop it. Lay down.
Make America healthy again, or make frying oil tallow again, which doesn't have quite the same ring to it. And supporters range from alt-right conspiracy theorists to the granola moms. And there have been like moms for RFK movements. Kennedy laid out the aims of the Make America Healthy Again movement in a Wall Street Journal op-ed, and it included reduce corporate influence in government, especially in its public health and environmental agencies, tackle the root causes of America's chronic disease, i.e. poor diet, environmental toxins, inadequate healthcare, promote regenerative agriculture, restore natural ecosystems, and remove chemicals and toxins from the country's food, water, and air. Karen Landon wrote an article in Vox that industrial, and agricultural sectors that Kennedy says are corrupting American bodies, land, and government. It's a lot less clear about how it plans to take those enemies down. That lack of clarity is not an accident. In a movement that vilifies experts and political elites, having a plan...
I'm sorry you guys went through that, because
but having a big idea...
it's a struggle going in there.
That's inspired, baby. Being fuzzy on the specifics also makes...
Like, they don't listen very well. And it's like they push to try to change your mind by making you fearful.
Details of the plan are foggy. You know, what chemicals or toxins are they targeting? Is fluoride a chemical that needs to be removed from the water supply, even though it's proved to be of benefit? Fluoride is an interesting one that has been like a main point of crossover between the wellness and alt-right conspiracy theories, and that idea of like poisoning the water supply is all part of this sense of like big pharma or the government are hiding something from us. They have this hidden agenda. Just Aimco showed the same institutional distrust in a 2010 op-ed. I don't believe they will ever find a cure. And if they do they make it public knowledge? Not unless another breeding disease breaks out to replace cancer. Listen, as I said, I understand the distrust in Big Pharma. The Sackler family, who owned Purdue Pharma, were largely responsible for the US opioid epidemic because they marketed Oxycontin as non-addictive. Big Pharma's profit model fucking sucks. I also understand why people want answers. They want something to point to and say, like, this is why I got cancer. Because you put fluoride in the water, or it's because I had the HPV vaccine. These conspiracies provide an easy scapegoat. Sometimes with cancer, the answers might be more obvious, you know, a lifelong smoker getting lung cancer, 1 + 1 = 2, but what can explain a child getting leukemia or a young woman getting breast cancer? I completely sympathize with that, you know, I think we all should. And I see how people fall down these rabbit holes, but, however, the idea that the actual cure for cancer is like locked away in a vault somewhere pays a huge disservice and disrespect to the hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people who go to work every day in labs, in hospitals, in clinics, colleges, to help cancer patients or to help find cures for cancer. Speaking of hospitals, I was interested in how, or if, the rise of alternative health has manifested in my kind of circle, or like in my environment. So I asked my brother, who is a gastroenterology doctor in the UK. Don't be intimidated by us, guys. It's hard coming from such a successful I texted my brother asking if he has seen firsthand people turning away from conventional medicine and if it has risen post-COVID. He said that he has definitely seen it rising. I was talking to my brother after filming this, and he told me more about his experience of seeing health and misinformation in action. He talked about how during COVID, a lot of people who came into the hospital positive for COVID treatment were unvaccinated, and when he asked them why weren't they vaccinated, a lot of them cited the mistrust in medical institutions. And we've seen crazy headlines about conspiracy theories that like Bill Gates is putting microchips in our arm with these vaccines and stuff. But my brother said that like you do see this in action. You do have people coming in believing that they're going to be chipped. So it's not just like a joke or something that's isolated to the internet. You know, this has real consequences, and there are real people believing this stuff. And particularly during the Omicron variant of COVID, my brother said most of the people that they were sending to ICUs and hospitals were people who were unvaccinated. Because vaccination not only helps prevent the spread of disease, but it also helps like tamper down the symptoms if you actually do get a disease. So my brother works in gastroenterology, which is like the digestive system essentially. He's seen impacts of figures like Dr. Oz of misinformation like vitamin K2 as a cure-all, or even just the belief that diet and exercise can cure and treat everything. My brother treats conditions like Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis that are to do with like inflammation of the intestine, and he said that he regularly sees people come in saying that they manage their condition with diet and exercise, or they only want to manage their condition with diet and exercise. And obviously diet and exercise is important, but a lot of conditions require medication to treat them as well, and conditions like Crohn's and ulcerative colitis are inflammatory diseases, and they can end up causing colorectal cancer, so it's really important to get these like, under control. And my brother told me about this one anecdote of a patient he saw, which was a very extreme end of this alternative health misinformation, and because of like doctor-patient confidentiality, I really can't say that any specifics, but this patient was very, very fixed in her alternative health beliefs. She did not want medication and medical treatment, but she was very, very ill and was reliant on a list of like 25 supplements to cure and treat her, which was not working, and they were not going to. And because she was refusing to engage in medical treatment, she was hospitalized and bedbound for 8 to 10 months with this constant negotiation of trying to get her to
go lay down.
Medication and be treated, because she was only getting worse. Her condition was only...
You need to go lay down.
And it was only on her deathbed that she finally relented, but her belief and her stock in alternative health almost cost her her life. And my brother works in the UK and it's state-funded healthcare, and he estimates as well that her case alone must date millions of pounds. And I know that that is just anecdotal, but it's interesting to hear the real-world impact of all of these conspiracies. But these conspiracies or hacks are never as far away as we think. There's been a trend that infiltrated even my TikTok for you page, which is very far away from wellness girlies, and it's of people putting castor oil in their belly button. And I've seen people putting castor oil on their hair and their eyebrows, but the belly button was a new one to me.
I did it last week. I did it on my belly button for one day, and I
Okay, I've heard about castor oil. Um, I also know, I forget what it's called, but it is a THC product where you do that in the belly button too. And like you put a band-aid on there and it's supposed to like seep into your system. Does not work. Um, I tried it's called RSOs. Okay, I tried those. Anything that they're saying put in your belly button, I would say it's complete trash. Now, with the RSOs, they do tell you can put it under your tongue. You do not want it on top of your tongue. Ugh. Um, that seemed to work. Um, but yeah, the belly button method, I would honestly say is complete hogwash. It's completely no.
Felt like it was working. I was like, oh, I feel great. I was going to the restroom a lot. Like it's cleaning out parasites.
Remember Psalm 104 verse 14? God gave herbs for the service of man. So whether it's diarrhea, irritable bowel, or whether it's constipation, the castor oil will go in and it will penetrate very, very deep, and it causes a cleansing and a healing in that area. It's a remarkable. Barbara O'Neill, an Australian influencer who has promoted treating cancer with baking soda, claims that if you put castor oil in or around your belly button, the oil will penetrate your abdomen, it will break up any uterine cysts or fibroids, it will heal your colon of diarrhea or inflammation, and it even has the power to cure brain and abdomen cancer. None of that is true, but influencers are profiting off of this trend, making videos about castor oil and then using TikTok Shop to link to it. And this is just another in a very long list of fake, potentially dangerous cures or hacks that are nothing but money grabs. But I was interested that like it even infiltrated my TikTok. I think that's how stuff like this happens. If you see one little hack, and then maybe that will work, or maybe placebo will work, and then you hop onto another, and then it like that little spiral. So stay safe out there, queens. You've got critical thinking heads on, even when you're scrolling TikTok at 2 a.m. The irony of the like alt-right alternative health sectors lobbying against big pharma and big food and claiming that they're just out for profit is that so many of these alt-right and alternative health sectors are also fear-mongering in order to sell you something. Naomi Klein writes in the author here. What unites the far right and the far out is the hustle on the one hand and a faith in hyper-individualism on the other. In the alternative health world, everyone is selling something. Classes, retreats, sound baths, essential oils, anti-metal toxin sprays, Himalayan salt rock lamps, coffee enemas. Supplements alone were worth an estimated $155 billion worldwide in 2022. It's much the same on Bannon's War Room or Alex Jones's InfoWars. With their manly supplements, survivalist supplies,
I can't with the gay frogs. I'm sorry.
All of these people just invent problems for which only they have the solution, and that solution is for sale. This is really just the tip of the iceberg in terms of wellness influencers, alt-right conspiracists, and their impact. I have some further reading suggestions for you all if you want to learn more. First of all, I referenced it a couple times, Doppelganger by Naomi Klein. Fantastic. Fantastic book. Naomi Klein really examines how people can go from like being progressive, crunchy feminists to alt-right conspiracy theorists. Another book that was really helpful in researching is Conspirituality. It is also a podcast, which I listened to a couple episodes of, and again, that explores the intersection between the like wellness, woo-woo sphere and the alt-right. Lastly is Maintenance Phase, which is a podcast. I love it. I've been listening to it for a couple years, and they debunk.
I think this part is like promoting other channels. I do know when it comes down to holistic health, there is one that I have used, and it's not anything that's kind of like all woo woo and out there like a bunch of those other ones are. Um, and these guys are based out of Ohio, around Appalachia, and their tinctures actually do help. Are they a cure all? No. Take your medication. Always check with your doctor before you take something new. But they put together and make their own tinctures and sell them. If you want to find them, go over to hellfireholler.com and you'll be able to see a bunch of their tinctures that they have, and they do help, and there's a whole bunch that do different things. So that's her video. and another one up here. I don't know if it's going to be just another rundown of the same. What did I just do? Oh no. Oh well. So we don't have the second YouTube video because I just erased it on accident. But that is pretty much the rundown of Belle Gibson and like the whole weirded out wellness industry. Like, do your research, use your brain. Their tinctures actually last at least about a month. I think last time I saw it was around $30 or $40 for a decent sized bottle. Yeah, and they're a small, like, personal owned company. So it's not like getting them from like Walmart or anything like that. So if anybody wants the link, I will get it to you. But yeah, so let's see where Belle Gibson is now.
Guys, Belle Gibson's reactivated her social media accounts. Her Instagram, Healing.
So this is as of last year. This is not this year. I couldn't find anything on her from this year. So I don't know if maybe she's back underground, whatever.
It's called Belle has resurfaced, and I can show you this is not a fake account. Now this is Jess Aiden's cough. I'm sorry it's cut off at the top here, but she's loosely based on the character Mila Blake from Apple Cider Vinegar. Jess passed away in February 2015, and her account has pretty much remained untouched since. A couple of posts from her family, but the last one was in July 2015. So if you go to Jess's followers, you'll see she's following Healing_Belle. Plus, if you go to the tag section on Healing Belle, you'll see all these posts, and the last ones are from 2014. I've done a whole deep dive on my YouTube channel on what's real and what's fake in Apple Cider Vinegar, so go check that out. Do you think she's going to come out and say anything? She hasn't said anything publicly in a very long time, so let me know below what you think.
You're going to
Guys,
make this
Belle
difficult.
Gibson's reactivated her social media accounts.
No. We're not doing all that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Is it time to pay that money back, Belle?
It does send the message that you can pretty much get away with anything.
You're done.
Belle Gibson's a master
You're done.
manipulator.
Get home. You about knocked me over.
She had us believe a 20-year-old with brain cancer and only 4 months to live.
Do you think you're dying?
Yeah.
You feel like you're dying?
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
When I discovered Belle Gibson, I was like, oh my god, like, you know, this is it. This is what I can do. I too can cure myself through healthy eating.
Would you accept that you're
Stop
a pathological
it.
liar?
No. Offering hope to people that are
Right.
literally dying is just
Go
so
lay down.
cool.
You were fined by
No.
the court for a reason.
At the bare minimum, I'd love an apology.
Belle, can you tell us about the Ethiopian community you joined?
Makanke Sabontu. Here today we met.
Is it
She's definitely doing a lot.
Belle Gibson has broken down in tears, claiming she wants to pay her $410,000 fine for lying to consumers, but is facing bankruptcy. Prosecutors became frustrated with the...
But she wants to pay it back. Did you catch that?
27-year-old today, describing her as unresponsive to questions about her spending habits. Court reporter Eliza Rugg.
Strutting into the federal court, Belle Gibson appeared unflappable. But within minutes of being grilled by prosecutors about her failure to pay her $410,000 fine, the unemployed cancer con woman was in tears, describing herself as generous, doing odd jobs for family members for cash, sometimes for no payment at all.
Okay. If you get fined that much money, the only reason that you're doing odd jobs for a family is because if you're getting paid in cash, they can't garnish anything. That's not a flex. That is well, avoiding responsibility at best.
Someone needs help, I provide it. It's because of my empathetic nature.
Are you an empathetic person, Belle?
The 27-year-old claims she's too poor to pay her penalty for duping Australian consumers.
Belle Gibson has broken down in tears, claiming
Let's see here. Why do I not have the just watched button? Like, ever. Maybe I put it on. Did I put 2 on here? I'm hoping.
But they changed the name of the character, right? So they call her Miller Blake. But in the script, they set Belle Gibson and this Miller Blake character up as these kind of bitchy rivals, and Miller Blake, sort of discovers that Gibson's a fake and decides to sort of destroy her as she's dying. And I just thought, like morally and ethically, like Jess Ainsco's family went through a terrible tragedy, a mother and daughter dying of cancer after rejecting treatment within basically a sort of year of each other.
I had nothing to do with the Netflix show, and I don't entirely feel comfortable around some of the ethics of this type of storytelling and how the truth has been distorted in the show.
They could have invented a completely fictional character. In this case, I think that's what they should have done. But instead, they took a character that anyone who knows the story would recognise as Jess Ainscough and turned her into this kind of mean girls rival who tears Belle Gibson down as she's dying, which is a complete load of nonsense.
I have been healing a severe and malignant brain cancer for the past few years with natural medicine, Gerson therapy and foods. It's working for me.
It is. And if
Except you didn't have brain cancer.
No, I didn't.
No.
But when I was writing that, I thought that I did.
Did you catch that? Just curious. At first she says, I am healing it. And then it's brought up that you didn't have brain cancer. She admits, no, I didn't. But I thought I did. Well, honey, if you thought that you did, then no, you are not healing your brain cancer. You didn't have it.
Your work on this story and a whole lot of other stories is the kind of work that makes you believe in journalism. As a journalist, it makes you feel good to know that there are reporters like you out there, revealing truths, and in this case, you revealed a very big story. Looking back on it all these years later, how does it make you feel about our craft of journalism?
I'm incredibly proud of those stories that I wrote, because of all the stories I wrote, that one I think had an impact, perhaps beyond anything else I've done, just because of her profile and also the issues it raised. I used to grind my teeth about those 2 guys down in Melbourne. There are 2 documentaries about Belle Gibson. One of them is going to actually be on Netflix next week. It's called Instagram's Worst Con Artist. I'm in both of them, and they're barely in them at all. And so I kind of think that the record speaks for itself for anyone who wants. But they changed the name of.
So we know that Netflix does not stick to the full honest story, right? I have not watched Apple Cider Vinegar, but we saw what they did with Monster, right? So they added in so much, and they just need to leave. If it's based on true story, I get people wanting their own creative aspect and stuff like that, but
Despite her lies being so...
it does not belong there.
Publicly exposed, Nick still does...
This is the other half of it, where later on, after the scandal, You can see the title is She Robbed Her Mother as She Was Dying. So this guy right here is her brother. If I remember right, either it was that everybody thought they were twins. They are not, but they always look so much alike. And she just kept on siphoning money off of her mom as her mom was dying. I can see if I can get Netflix on the computer, and we might be able to stream it. But yeah, so her monster story didn't stop there. She didn't just lie to everybody and made it where people rejected their medicine anymore. She also did stuff to her family. Okay, and biggest thing is her mother.
Doesn't believe Belle has learnt any lessons. He says in 2017, when their mother Natalie was desperately ill and dying, Belle's greed continued to take priority over her compassion.
The time Mum was in the hospice, slowly passing away, Belle had the nerve to come to Brisbane, to my home, and clear the garage out. Like, Mum had jewellery up there as well in boxes. And I went back up there and it was all cleared out, and then I contacted Belle maybe about a few days later, a week later, and she couldn't say anything. She avoided it all.
So that jewellery's missing?
Yes. It was... Mum had jewellery before she passed away on her body, and then when I went back to visit Mum at the hospice, it was gone.
You really have to question Belle Gibson's morality. Despite her lies being...
Yeah, so that's another piece in it, is what she did to her mother. This is the last one that I have. There's a lot more information on the 60 Minutes thing, so if you want, we can stream that too. I have to look up that apple cider vinegar thing, because I don't even know how long that is. But let me know what you want to do after this. We can watch Karen's, we can see who's live, things like that.
Several times to come forward.
Or I can show you the train wreck that is my FYP.
There were people that were potentially making very serious decisions about their health based on the messages that Belle was putting out there, and that was my main motivation in taking the action that I did. So after months and months of trying to exhaust every option I could to stop Belle and get the truth out, my former boss had contacted me and told me that there was a journalist at the Age that was willing to speak to me.
This editor said someone in Belle's inner circle wants to come forward. There are doubts about her cancer.
You know what journalists do?
It was one of her friends that blew the whistle on her.
Yeah, exactly. And we're concerned about that.
My name's Nick Toscano. I'm a reporter at The Age. Chanel was running out of time and fearful about what would happen if Belle's star continued to rise and her dangerous story would spread out even more, where sick people may latch onto it and may go down a dangerous path. People like Belle have been around forever. She was propelled to unseen heights of popularity by the rise of social media, unchecked, and gain a eager-to-believe fan base to an extent to which the snake oil salesman of many years ago.
Her several times.
Yeah, that's the Belle Gibson that I've got on doc. So it's a whole clusterfuck, and we can watch it in the Discord tomorrow. Let me turn on Karen's for you for a minute. I have to pee like a motherfucker. So we are going to turn something on and you can watch it, and I am kind of gonna pee. There you go. Road Ragers.
Welcome back to Mind Zone. If you thought traffic was boring,
Oh, give me 1 minute.
some drivers treat the road like a comedy stage. And Karma's got the best punchline. On 2 wheels, you're playing with danger. Sedans got balance. SUVs got karma. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god. He punched that mirror right off. Great job. Don't need a mirror if you don't use it.
Get out the car. Please get out the car. Please get out the car. Get out the car. Oh my god, she's trying to cut her. Oh my god, she's trying to cut her.
Oh my god, this is insane. People are screaming. The door's busted open, and it feels like everything's spinning out of control. This is
What the hell did I just walk back into? Don't cut a semi off.
These people would fail a walking test, let alone a driving one. That middle finger's gonna cost him, and probably not how he thinks.
Okay, hang on a second. We're gonna see who all is online. So here, check is, but we're not going to stream him. Back. Road Rage. So do you know of anybody that is live right now? That would be interesting, to say the least. Or we can look at replay channels. Either one. Oh.
What? Just one sec. I mean, is he ill? What should I do, Mr. President? Should I give him more time, or?
Mr. President, point of order. Is it appropriate for someone not to be recognized to just say, I object and run out? The senator's not being recognized. The senator had the floor, the senator from Louisiana, who's made a proposal, and then I heard some noise in the background, and that was it. But I never heard a senator being recognized, so it sounds to me that no one has been recognized to object.
Mr. President, I have a resolution that I've talked about before. I want to emphasize, Mr. President, that it is a resolution. It's not a bill. I also want to emphasize at the outset that it
I cannot say that I disagree with this.
It only applies to the United States Senate. And here's what my resolution would do. It would change Senate rules to provide that when we are in a shutdown, that senators cannot be paid. And further, that the resolution be agreed to and the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.
Is there an objection? The objection is heard.
With respect, I want to give my colleague, Senator Schatz, more time as he he objected and left the chamber, is he coming back? What, just one second. I mean, is he
Quick question.
is he ill?
That would be my question too. So I am not a very political channel. I think that both sides. I am not Democrat. I am not Republican. I am not a liberal. I think both sides work together to keep everybody distracted. And I am very against the two-party system. I think it pits the people against the government, and that is not a healthy style. Now, I agree with him. If the government goes into shutdown and you have people working, okay, that work for the state, cops, people that save lives, anybody that works for the state, they don't get paid when the government shuts down. They honestly, some of the time, don't get the back pay from when the government shuts down, but they're still required to work. But the government shuts down, and they still get paid for doing nothing, going on vacation, things like that, just because they don't want to agree. I agree with this senator saying if the government goes into shutdown, you don't get paid. Anyone else not doing their job, they don't get paid for it. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. Government shuts down, guess what? They don't need to get paid. It would stop them from using the government shutdowns as leverage. All of it. I think that it's a good resolution. If they're worried about not paying their bills with as much as they make, then maybe they should look at downsizing. I'm just saying a lot of people that are in the government now are severely out of touch with any and everything normal people go through. I don't agree with the Republican regime. I do not agree with the Democratic Party either. I think that if you go all the way left or all the way right, you're psychotic. At this point in time, both sides have went to such extreme that neither one is doable. Nobody meets halfway or comes to a compromise anymore. And it's like it is geared to just pit people against each other, and I wholeheartedly dislike it. Funny puppies.
She's chewing on your tail, man.
What?
He said, what?
They're so cute. Oh. They act like my dogs. I don't know why. Am I the only one?
Oh.
Am I the only one that finds it funny when dogs just act human? Like, you can tell they get annoyed with each other. The whole shebang. It cracks me up. Hang on a second.
Mila! 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 Quit!
Give me a minute, y'all. I gotta go check something out. Okay, I'm back. Ugh. Sorry about that. Oh. I had to go make sure that nothing was outside. Oh no, why can't I hear it very well? Hang on. Oh, I dislike it when my headphones mess up. Thank you. Let me just eat your head.
Guys, stop. Just kidding. Get him! Get him!
So my son's in a Christian school. They're very strict. They have cameras everywhere, a lot of rules. It's fine. But one day I get a phone call while he's in kindergarten, and they're like, Dave, you need to come in. Something happened to your son. I said, is he okay? They go, yeah, he just got in a bit of trouble. I was like, oh, is he still 5 years old? They said, yeah. I said, oh, you can just go ahead and handle that in-house. And they said, no, it's pretty serious. And I said, it's not. Was he selling fentanyl on the playground again? Pimping out the bitches in his class?
This is me as a parent. I'm just
It's
saying.
not his fault. You see how they dress. They're whores. So I go in, and they have this, like, monitor set up, and they're showing me this video. It's my son. He's a kindergartner. He's reading a book that's, like, this thick in the library, like, looking at pictures. And this kid who's in 5th grade walks up to him, knocks the book out of his hand, shoves my son. My son goes flying back, cracks his back on the corner of a wall. You can tell he's in a lot of pain. So the kid's walking away. My son reaches down, grabs the book, walks towards him, jumps up in the air, cracks him in the face, and the kid drops. right? They didn't clap, but my honest response was, oh, it was gangster. So they said, you don't support this, do you? I'm like, no, mine's the little one. It's fine. And they said, he's supposed to tell the teacher. I said, oh, he's not a narc. They said, no, we have a no bullying policy at this school. We need to know who the bullies are. And I said, it's the one on the ground. And they said, please talk to him. And I was like, all right. So now I'm driving him home, and he's in the back seat, and I'm thinking like what my dad would say. I'm like, all right, son. In life, people are going to pick on you. They're going to be mean to you and cruel to you and attack you and say things that are going to hurt you and physically hurt you. And you're going to want to get them back. But you need to understand that when you choose to get them back, you need to make sure there are no cameras. Exactly what a good parent would do, right? And then we went for ice cream because he's a hero. So my son's in a Christian school. They're very strict.
This is a very difficult conversation to have. I've had it a few different times in many different contexts. And I've had to talk to the schools about it. My kids have had bullies, and I have flat out told them, if nobody touches you, you had better not touch anybody. However, if they are physically doing something to my child, yeah, my kid's not going to take it. And I wouldn't expect them to, because that's not real life. And there are parents that are like, oh, you're part of the problem. No, maybe teach your kid not to be such a douche. It's kind of a controversial topic, but I think it's one that a lot of parents need to have anyway, because I even talked to my youngest school, where if he starts the physical altercation, of course, he is going to be in trouble when he comes home. But he has also had it where bullies have started to hit him, and then they decide to put him in trouble there at the school. So I explained it to the principal that in real life, if two people get in a fist fight at work, then yes, both people are probably going to get fired. Correct? Correct. However, when the police show up, that's where the repercussions stop for the person defending themselves. Because outside of that, self-defense is a thing. So I do the same thing with my kids. If you were defending yourself when you come home, no, you are not in trouble. You still have to deal with the repercussions from school, however. But if you were the aggressor, then you're up shit creek. So, I mean, it's kind of a dodgy subject, but it is one I think more parents need to have as to the why is it happening, who's the bully, things like that. Would you quit it?
Let me get in the car. Alright.
Car problems. Oh. That's not supposed to be like that. If your car looks like that, I expect you to live in the desert.
Customer states power steering doesn't work.
That's a peanut.
There's a peanut. I have no words. So my glove box does that. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it'll open. You got to do a little trick to it. Get it shut.
Well, just give me 2 more years. I need you to hold on. Shit. I'm gonna be getting me a.
Let me get in the car. Alright.
Have you ever wondered why you have this conglomerate?
I really like these. I'm gonna put this one here, and then I'm gonna put this one here.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down. That's not right. This is actually supposed to go here. And then these are supposed to go like this. Hold on, give those back to me. No, this clearly fits here. And then this one clearly fits here. You're actually being super controlling, and I don't think you have the authority to decide.
I don't think that I agree with that, but okay. I need that for my laundry. It's the bulboo. I'm not even gonna lie. I watch these things for like ever. He's not happy. Get down. 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 See.
Officer Christie, while patrolling, noticed a pickup truck that didn't stop at a stop sign and conducted a traffic stop. The driver was a 46-year-old woman with her father and son in the vehicle. They were all top-tier lawyers. The officer explained the reason for the stop, and the woman cooperated by handing over her firearm and driver's license. While checking her driver's license information, the officer discovered that the vehicle's insurance had expired 2 days prior. Officer Christie then instructed the woman to get out of the car.
I want you to step out.
I'd like to stay in the vehicle if there's a reason why.
Yeah, I want you to step out.
But there's not a reason for me to
because
step out
I
of the
told you
vehicle.
to step out, okay? So let's not, I want you to step out because I need you to step out, okay?
I need to have a reason to
You
step
don't
out.
have to. Where is it stating that you have to have a
back over here,
yeah,
please?
come on. Get out. Get out of the car.
When an officer gives a verbal command for the driver to exit the vehicle, it must be obeyed without the need for any explanation. This rule helps reduce the risk of concealed weapons or sudden movements inside the car. In this case, driving without insurance was at most a minor violation, which typically results in a fine of only a few $100s. However, the woman refused to fully exit the vehicle, escalating the conflict between them. After giving the final command, Officer Christie called for backup and prepared to use a taser. When her commands were refused, the officers took forceful action.
That is excessive.
Officer Christie, while patrolling, noticed a pickup truck that didn't stop at a stop sign.
Oh.
That's your boy.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Is it he or she?
It's a she.
Well, she's sucking on your nipples.
What?
Fuck, how you doing?
Graham.
The hell is that?
She's sucking on a bottle. We're trying to keep her alive.
I told you I was gonna throw you some fucking shit. What up?
I know. I know.
The buckro, Bobby.
No. Damn.
Thank you for the likes, SW.
I was having a heart attack and I was crying. Dean's like, I know what's wrong with you. You know, he went right over to his mama's house and got a Klonopin. Within 5 minutes, I was fine.
See, I take them things 3 times a day.
Yeah, I mean,
Why do people
I
talk
can get
about this
those,
stuff
you know.
on live?
I be all the time telling Dean to. Mama's a walking drugstore over there. And plus, if my brother-in-law's a doctor, and we'll just call him, and he'll call something in Mama's name, and we'll go get it.
See, you're blessed.
That's illegal. Ma'am.
That's a lesson right there to have that access. You know what I'm saying? Because medical bills.
That is illegal as shit.
Of a doctor, but you know what? I ain't never been fixed. So I feel like I'm an old dog that's never been fixed.
Oh Lord.
That's my problem.
Well, I can still have kids too. I just really don't want none.
Girl, I'm in menopause. I ain't had a cycle. I ain't had a cycle since I was 50. But I had one till have you had a hysterectomy or any of that jazz?
No, nothing.
What?
Is that your dog in the picture?
Yes, that's my male dog.
Why are we talking about this online?
Yeah, that's his puppy pic.
Oh.
Is that an English bulldog?
No, it's a Boston Terrier.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying. This is the second time I got a little female, and I don't think she's pregnant again.
My cousin had.
Yeah, you told me you had a cousin that had some, but I mean, I don't need no more. I want to make.
We went from mom is a pharmacy to my brother's a doctor and calls in prescriptions for us. To look at my dog.
But Tiki's useless. He's a man around here, another man in this house.
Look at my dog.
Oh yeah, he's boss.
And I think it's him.
Oh yeah, he's boss.
And then
And I think it's him. I don't think it's her because she's too.
This is the most
been with 3 different
ADHD
women and nothing
conversation
ever
I've
happened.
ever heard.
Yeah.
Tiggy's balls are fixing to get cut off.
Oh Lord.
He's useless.
Poor thing.
But I got 3 Boston, so.
My aunt used to have a couple of them, and one of them's name was Oreo. I forgot what the
I
other
have
one's
secondhand
name was.
Fatty, when we went to that outdoor flea market this morning, we was walking through there. He said, "Mama," he said, "if I find a fluffy puppy, I'm buying it." He had his $20, He was walking through there. First puppy we come on was a Boston Terrier mixed with French Bulldog. They didn't have papers on them. They had never been to the vet. They said that they had wormed them and gave them shots. And you know how much they was wanting for those dogs?
How much?
$800.
No, you never walk away with a puppy.
Ain't no
walk away with a puppy.
Yeah, good luck catching that.
Damn, Pawpaw. Damn, Pawpaw.
What we doing here?
Charles, you gonna let him cook me like this, Charles?
What?
You gonna let him cook me like this?
Bitch, I ain't dropping that kind of money.
Jimmy, I can tell that you're doing good, brother.
How's your weekend, lovely?
Oh, they're watching Sheena.
How's it going? Thanks for joining.
So I can't do it when people can't turn.
I think you called me an
their
it
camera.
too.
No, didn't call you it.
Oh well, there. That's why I said I think, but you called me he, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's transphobic.
No, it's not.
Okay. Well,
I'm
know
not
what
in,
it
I'm not in
is. So that's
phobia.
transphobic.
I'm not in phobia of you.
Okay, that's fine. Everyone report.
What?
I have 150 people in here. You think I give a fuck, Kira? I don't.
I just got off of that.
They get in a fight again. See, the camera not be in the right direction. What, baby? What? I know,
Because my time
baby.
clock was gonna say.
This is Indiana storms. I don't know where this is in Indiana.
Tucker, this is the Ohio-Indiana border, 30 miles east of Muncie.
Yes, we do have storms going through right now. It's gonna get cold tomorrow. Shenanigans. I like shenanigans.
No, honey. Well, I'll be in Alabama. And I'm coming back to Avondale. Coming back later this year. Surprise, surprise.
Honey, your one eyebrow looks surprised.
In spite of that bad weather, but would you be free from your burden of sin?
Just the one eyebrow. It looks surprised.
I hate black ice.
You want to know a video? I seen a video. This guy opened his door, and it was like more like 75%. The snow was up to like 75% of his door.
He couldn't leave the house.
Say 18 Dakota.
Yep.
And then Lexi,
24.
I assume 24.
I have figured out if you're just scrolling through lives, you hear a lot of fucked up shit.
You actually like use for glasses?
I don't know. I use super glue to get the little metal stick into the metal hole. And while that's in there, I then will take hot glue and go around the joint ceiling and then like connect it together because there's a gap. So I technically like build the missing piece on it with.
There's Sheena.
Oh, yeah. It is, right? Okay. What about in a minute?
That's shake. Oh, here's my bathing suit. No, that's not it. Hold on.
Bathing
These
suit.
are my work clothes. I gotta get them washed. I mean, I gotta do my thing.
Don't. It's Casey.
Now we're here.
Yeah.
My phone right now, but I put it on my phone. I love a road opener. To me, this is great too because sometimes we don't know.
I caught it. Flag, but the flag moves.
Right.
Shut up. I'm trying to
Miami.
keep it proper, okay?
What goes up and down but never moves?
Yes.
Okay, guys. I have been on just over an hour and a half. I am still sick. And I've got to get up at 4 a.m. So, I'm going to look up where to watch that 60-minute interview. And then we can watch it in Discord tomorrow. I can put it on. And it doesn't matter. We can do it in Chaotic's Discord or mine. It doesn't matter which one. And let's see here. What do I have set up for tomorrow? I have stuff done for tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is a bunch of positivity. So, like, funny stuff. Feel good, like, the heart feel good videos, that kind of thing. Everything's been pretty heavy lately for a lot of different people, myself included. So I figured, especially since Monday's so hard all the time, towards the end of the day, it'd be a good idea just to have feel-good videos. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Just kick back, relax, and try to have some happy feels for a better week. So we'll do that tomorrow. I'll be on sometime between, we'll say 7:30 and 9 o'clock tomorrow. And I'll have all that stuff for you. And then we can just stick around towards the end of it again. Yeah, I think that's about it. But I appreciate you guys coming to join me. If you know anybody that's been having a rough time, go ahead and let them know, tune in tomorrow. And we'll crack some jokes and have some fun. Alright? I will see you guys tomorrow and in Discord. See ya.